Aries' 3 planets are stacked within a fraction of a degree in your sign. Words you say this week become permanent. Aquarius, your ruler is crossing the most electric degree of its 7-year journey, and Venus is racing to meet it at the wire. Subscribe if this finds you at the right time, and stay for your sign. Aries, 3 planets are stacked in your sign within half a degree, and nothing like this happens very often. Mercury, Mars, and Saturn are fused into a single point of fire. Your voice, your drive, and your discipline are one impulse right now. The thing you commit to out loud this week is not the kind of commitment that quietly fades. Saturn will make sure it sticks, which means you need to aim carefully. There's also a shakeup incoming in your material world. Something around what you earn or what you believe you're worth is about to surprise you. Don't brace against it. The surprise is the update you actually needed. The birthday window closed, but the real power is still here. Stop circling the bold version of whatever you've been delaying. Say it out loud, mean it, and let the week do the rest. Taurus, your season just opened and it arrived with a current running through it. The sun is home in your sign, and your ruler Venus is closing in on an exact conjunction with Uranus, the planet of sudden reversal, in your own sign. That's exact by the weekend. Something in your love life, your finances, or your deepest sense of what you're worth is about to shift in a way you didn't see coming. This is also the last major Venus-Uranus meeting of a 7-year cycle that has been slowly rewriting your relationship to security. Whatever breaks open this week has been ready to break for a long time. The instinct will be to hold on. Don't. The electricity isn't threatening what you've built. It's liberating what you've been tolerating. Welcome your season with your hands open, not your fists clenched. Gemini, your ruler is the most powerful instrument in the sky right now, and I need you to understand what that means. Mercury is triple fused with Mars and Saturn in Aries, all within half a degree, and that combination makes every word you speak unusually fast, direct, and permanent. You are not in your usual mode of circling a decision and keeping all options warm. That comfort is not available this week. Something you've been bouncing is asking for a landing. The clarity window is right now, especially Monday and Tuesday before the momentum shifts. There is also a caution by Friday. Mercury will square Jupiter, and the temptation to overpromise or overstate your scope gets real. The big idea is worth having. Just trim it before you say it out loud. Stop keeping the answer warm, give it. Cancer, Jupiter has been living in your sign since mid-last year, quietly making everything you touch larger, and this week, your ruler the moon comes home to join it. Wednesday into Thursday is the window. Moon in your sign beside Jupiter means your intuition runs at maximum accuracy and maximum depth simultaneously. Every other sign this week is operating on fire and adrenaline, and you're the only one who actually sees the room clearly. Use that. The Aries planets will push back with urgency, demanding you commit faster than feels right. Don't match their pace. Deliberate response beats reactive reply every time. If someone is pressuring you toward a decision on their timeline, Wednesday's clarity will tell you everything you need to know about whether it's actually your decision to make. Feel first, move second. Your stillness is the most powerful thing in the sky this week. Leo, your ruler just crossed from fire into earth, and the shift is going to feel like a deceleration. The sun is in Taurus now, which asks you to stop broadcasting and start building, to contain rather than radiate. Then, from April 23rd onward, the sun moves into a tightening square with Pluto in your opposite sign. By April 25th, that square is almost exact. Pluto at the axis of your sign is not interested in performances of power. It wants to know what you're actually made of, stripped of the approval, situations will surface this week that pressure test your authority. The question isn't whether you'll handle them, it's whether you'll handle them from ego or from something deeper. Thursday and Friday, when the moon is in your sign, you'll feel the fire return. Use that window to speak and create, and then keep building after the spotlight fades. Virgo, your ruler is on fire this week, and that is not your natural environment. Mercury is triple fused with Mars and Saturn in Aries, fast, assertive, burning. The precision is still there, but the urgency is also there, and they don't always agree. The most important moment is Monday, when Mercury and Saturn are essentially the same point. What you commit to or communicate at the week's start carries an unusual permanence. Say the real thing while Saturn is right there to give it structure. Later in the week, Mercury races ahead and the square to Jupiter starts building. By Friday, the risk is that your plans grow past what the evidence actually supports. Trust the early week clarity and resist the late week temptation to keep refining into complexity. The window you've been waiting for to set something in motion is Monday morning. Use it. Libra, your ruler is walking into one of the most electric transits of the year, and it is going to feel like something snapped. Venus conjunct Uranus at the final degree of Taurus is exact this week. That's the last degree of a cycle, which carries the full weight of everything that's been building. In your closest relationships, anything that has been held back, suppressed, or politely ignored is about to surface. This is not comfortable. It is also not optional. The disruption is the honesty that a situation needed and wasn't getting. By Thursday or Friday, Venus crosses into a lighter, more curious sign, and the pressure releases into something fresher. The conversation you've been avoiding is the one worth having this week. Have it before the shift, not after. The version of you that comes out on the other side will be freer. Scorpio, your ruler Pluto is sextile to Mercury, Mars, and Saturn all week, quietly connecting everything, pulling threads from beneath the surface. You see the board more clearly than anyone else this week. But there is a moment coming on April 25th that will not let you stay in the shadows. The Sun in your opposite sign moves into an almost exact square with Pluto, your ruler. That's a power confrontation. Something about who holds control in a key situation gets exposed, and you are going to be asked to step into the light rather than watch from behind the glass. You already know what the dynamic is, you've known for a while. What this week asks is whether you'll name it directly, or let it stay in the place where things don't get said. You're most dangerous when you're honest. Be dangerous. Sagittarius, the fire in the sky this week is yours. Mercury, Mars, Saturn, and Neptune all in fellow fire sign Aries, and your whole element is lit up and running. The Aries stellium favors every Sagittarian pursuit: writing, teaching, speaking, traveling, building a philosophical argument that actually holds. The triple conjunction gives your biggest ideas a spine. This is not the week to circle. It's the week to commit to a direction and move. The one caution is Friday, when Mercury squares your ruler Jupiter, and the temptation to overpromise is real. The vision feels so big and clear that the words want to be bigger than what you can actually deliver. Use the Mercury-Saturn discipline earlier in the week to keep your commitments honest and your scope achievable. Pick the one thing that matters most and release the arrow. The sky is backing you. Capricorn, your ruler Saturn just had 3 planets fuse with it in the same week. Mercury at near exact, Mars at a fraction of a degree behind. That kind of activation doesn't happen often. Your words carry authority right now that they don't always carry, and your drive has structure underneath it instead of just force. Monday especially is the peak. Mercury and Saturn are essentially the same point, meaning whatever you pitch, negotiate, or commit to on Monday lands with weight. The Sun entering Taurus brings your Earth element allies alongside you all week. The practical details will cooperate. There's also a slow Saturn-Pluto sextile running underneath this entire week, and that aspect makes decisions with long horizons unusually well supported. What looks like a short-term move has a 3 to 5 year spine under it. Stop waiting for the full picture. Act on the 70% you already have. Aquarius, your ruler Uranus is doing something this week it has not done since 2011, crossing the final degree of Taurus. 7 years of revolution in values, security, and what you own is arriving at its last breath. And Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and worth, is closing in on an exact conjunction with Uranus at that final degree, exact by Thursday. Something that's been building in the background of your material world or your closest connection is about to break open, probably in a way you didn't plan. This is also not random. Uranus has been preparing you for exactly this. The instability isn't failure. It's the last adjustment before the foundation settles into something truer. Pluto is also inside your sign, continuing its long rewrite of who you are. Stay open to the unexpected on Thursday. What arrives is the answer, not the problem. Pisces, your ruler Neptune is surrounded this week. Saturn pressing in at just over 5 degrees, Mars recently passed through, Mercury leaving its mark. Your ruler is being asked to do something Neptune doesn't naturally do: commit. The abstract yearning you've been carrying has been given structure by Saturn's presence, and this week that pressure becomes undeniable. The vague vision that has lived in the space between someday and not yet is being asked to become something real, and the first concrete step is the only thing required. You don't have to have the whole map. Then, starting Friday and building through the weekend, Venus in Gemini forms a sextile to your ruler, and the pressure lifts into something genuinely beautiful. Art, love, spiritual connection, creative beauty. The weekend is yours. Survive the discipline of the early week and arrive at it. That's your weekly reading for April 20th through 26th. Drop a comment with your sign and let me know how this week lands. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a reading.